So we all know the Jeffrey Epstein case, right? It's infamous. But what you might not realize is that a pivotal, high-stakes battle unfolded long before a trial could even begin. And it all centered on one simple question: freedom or a jail cell? Today, we're going to break down that legal chess match over Epstein's pre-trial detention.
I mean, just try to picture the shift. 1 minute, you're living this life of just unparalleled wealth and freedom, and the next, you're in a federal detention cell. That jarring transition, that whiplash from the penthouse to prison, well, that's what set the stage for this intense legal battle right from the get-go.
So where does a story like this begin? Well, in the legal world, it always starts with an arrest. And then, the formal charges that are going to define the entire case.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's the summer of 2019, and federal agents take Jeffrey Epstein into custody. Now, this wasn't just some run-of-the-mill arrest. This kicked off a legal proceeding in the Southern District of New York that was about to capture the entire world's attention. This moment right here is the starting point for everything else we're going to talk about.
And the charges they brought against him, they were extremely serious. We're talking about sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy to commit sex trafficking. These are federal charges that carry severe penalties. And right away, they became the foundation for the prosecution's whole argument that this man was simply too dangerous to be released.
And that led us directly to the first major legal showdown, the battle for bail. This was a critical decision, because it would determine his freedom while he was waiting for his trial to start.
So what exactly is a bail hearing? Well, think of it this way. A judge has to weigh two really key questions. Number one, can this person be trusted to actually show up for their trial? And number two, do they pose a danger to other people if they're released? The answers to those questions were going to be absolutely pivotal in Epstein's case. And this is where things got really interesting, because it led to a fascinating clash of legal strategies. You had two completely different narratives, two different stories being presented to the judge, one from the prosecution and one from the defense. Ultimately, when you strip it all away, everything boiled down to this one question. This is what the judge, Richard Berman, had to figure out. Was Epstein likely to just flee the country and disappear? And would he pose a threat to public safety, specifically to young victims, if he were let out?
The two sides were painting completely different realities. The prosecution came out with this two-pronged attack. First, they said he was an extreme flight risk, pointing to his private jet, his foreign homes. Second, they argued he was a clear danger to the community, bringing up a history of alleged witness tampering. The defense, on the other hand, pushed back. They highlighted his lack of prior convictions and offered up what they saw as a foolproof solution: incredibly strict home detention, all secured by a massive financial bond. And believe me, massive is an understatement. The defense team proposed a bail package that was valued as high as $100 million. An unbelievable figure, really. It was designed to prove to the court that he just couldn't afford to run. But you know what? In the end, all that money didn't matter. Judge Berman's ruling was decisive. He said, and I'm quoting here, "I conclude that no set of release conditions can reasonably assure the safety of the community." And this is the crucial insight here, folks. Bail was denied not just because he was a flight risk, the money might have solved that, but because the judge decided he was a present danger. In the eyes of the court, community safety trumped any financial guarantee.
So with that decision made, Epstein was sent to federal custody. And this next phase was marked by a whole lot of legal maneuvering, even as he was sitting behind bars. This timeline really gives you a sense of just how quickly things were moving. He's arrested on July 6th. By July 18th, that's less than 2 weeks, the arguments were heard and the judge made his call. But check out that last point. The legal fight was not over. The defense immediately started the appeals process, trying to get a higher court to overturn that bail denial. And all of this action left the entire case in this state of legal limbo, really, with the next steps just hanging in the balance.
So the key takeaway here is this: Epstein was securely in federal detention in Manhattan. His lawyers were fighting that bail decision tooth and nail through the appeals process. And at the exact same time, both legal teams were starting the long, complex work of preparing for what everybody expected to be one of the most significant trials of the decade.
So the legal system was definitely in motion, and the battle lines were drawn. With Epstein in detention and his lawyers appealing that decision, the stage was set for a landmark trial. The question on everyone's mind was pretty simple: what would happen next in the pursuit of justice?